Chodesh Tov Rabotai. Today we heard one of the local rabbis who said something interesting with the issue of Sfirat Omer, counting the Omer. He said that if a rabbi or a CHAZAN, a person who's a Shliach Tzibur, who prays for the community, let's say one day he didn't count the Omer, he forgot that night, and also he forgot the day after. So now the halacha is, right, it says the Shulchan Aruch that if a person forgot during the night and also forgot to count during the day, the next days after that, all the rest of the time until we get to the holiday of Shavuot, he's not allowed to count with a bracha anymore. You know why? Because it could be that he's not obligated anymore to count, because once you miss one day of the mitzvah, it's like the whole mitzvah has been already ruined, it's been already messed up, so therefore a person cannot anymore count with a bracha. Even though there is also another opinion that says that each day is a separate mitzvah, nevertheless, we're concerned about this opinion that says that the whole counting of all the 49 days is one mitzvah altogether, and therefore, according to this opinion, he's not able to bless anymore because it could be it's a blessing in vain, bracha lebatala, because he's not obligated to count anymore. He already lost the mitzvah, even though because he missed already one day. That's already enough to cancel the whole mitzvah. So now the question is like this, right? Okay, but this guy's a rabbi, this guy's a chazan. So what he does is that he is responsible for the whole tzibur, for the whole community. So therefore, when he blesses, right, he doesn't only do so for himself. There's also others over there that may not know how to bless. So therefore, he's also blessing for them. Especially if he tells one of them, "Listen, don't bless for yourself. Let me bless for you." So this way, right, he's also blessing for him, and he has counted all the days. He didn't miss any days. So therefore, right, there are some who want to say that this is a solution for this rabbi or chazan. He can bless for others, and this way he can bless also, right, in general. Because it'll also be for himself, and just in case, right, that he's not obligated to bless anymore. But anyways, blessing for others as well, so it doesn't really matter. So he doesn't have the issue of here bracha lebatala, right, blessing which is not needed. Is this true? By the way, the truth is that there's a story about the Reed Soloveitchik, one of the rabbis of Brisk, who actually did something like this. Right, they say that he one year forgot to count one of the days. And this is the solution that he did for himself by bringing somebody there who didn't who didn't forget, and he told them, "Listen, I'll be blessing for you. Don't bless for yourself." So this way, right, he can also bless, and it also prevents him from being embarrassed, right? Because we have this rabbi or the chazan, now all the rest of the days of the counting, he can't bless anymore. So they all see, oh, he doesn't bless. He must have forgotten, huh? So it's like embarrasses him too, puts him to shame. So in order to solve this problem, this is what he did. So the question is this correct according to halacha? And the answer is, the truth is, that we find in the Pri Chadash, right, in Siman Taf Pei Tet, he says over there, the Pri Chadash, this is not possible to do, such a thing like this. That the Chazan or the rabbi should be blessing for somebody else or some of the community, and therefore he can also bless himself. So he says, what's the reason for this? Because we find in the Gemara Yerushalmi that a person who's not obligated, right, he also cannot bless for others. Just like he can't bless for himself because he has no obligation, he also cannot fulfill the obligation of others to bless. So for here also, since this person is not obligated anymore, he cannot bless anymore, so therefore he also cannot fulfill the obligation of others to bless. So how is he going to bless for others? Right? So therefore it says the Pri Chadash, who was one of the big poskim 400 years ago, he writes that therefore a person cannot do such a thing like that in order to alleviate this problem. The truth is that we find also many other poskim who agree with him, right? Like Rav Chaim Palaji, the Chidam, Shalmei Tzibur, and many others. The majority of the poskim seem to agree with the Pri Chadash that once a person misses one day, he can't count anymore. So therefore, he also cannot count for others as well. He cannot bless for others. So therefore, right, this solution would not be a viable option for a situation like this. The truth is, we also do find another opinion, the opposite of what we just said. It seems to mention something interesting, right? That even though there's a Gemara Yerushalmi, as we mentioned, that comes out from there, we cannot bless like that, we cannot do like that. But they want to say that there's a Gemara in the Bavli, right, the Babylonian Talmud, the one that we go with usually, right? Over there, it seems to be saying just the opposite of this. What does that mean? It says over there in the Gemara that even though a person fulfills his obligation to do something already, he can still fulfill the obligation of others to bless as well. So what does that mean? Let's say, for instance, I already made my kiddush, right, for Shabbat. I made kiddush, and now there's others who didn't make kiddush, but they don't know how to bless whatever. They can't make it for themselves. So I am allowed to fulfill their obligation, even though I fulfilled my obligation already. So what does that mean? That if I fulfill my obligation, I'm not obligated anymore to bless. But you still see that nevertheless a person is allowed to bless anyway for others. So what do they want to say? They want to say, right, that this Gemara Bavli, this Gemara argues with the Yerushalmi. So therefore the halacha is like the Bavli. We always, when there's a machloket, when there's a dispute between the Bavli and Yerushalmi, we go like the Bavli. So here also they want to say, right, that we don't have to be concerned about the Gemara Yerushalmi. But the truth is, even though there are some poskim who want to say this kind of thing, this is a mistake. This what they're saying. You know why? What's the reason for this mistake? The reason is because the Yerushalmi itself, right, in a different place, also brings down this halacha Bavli. So what does that mean? It brings down the halacha that once a person has fulfilled the obligation to do a certain mitzvah, he can still fulfill for others as well to make the blessing. So therefore, the Yerushalmi actually agrees with this Bavli that a person can do that, right? But so therefore, we must say, right, there's a difference between a person who fulfills the obligation and therefore has no more obligation at that time. There's a difference between this guy and the guy who doesn't have an obligation at all. Not that he fulfilled it already, but he doesn't have one anymore. He doesn't have it today or tomorrow, right? There is no more obligation. That's it, right? It flew away from him. So therefore, right, these two things are actually different. You cannot learn one from the other because actually there's no dispute, right, between the Bavli and Yerushalmi. They both say that once a person fulfills the obligation, he can still bless for others. But here, this person, it's not that he fulfills the obligation. He doesn't have any more obligation, right? It flew away from him. So therefore, right, we cannot accept the opinion of those who say that a person like this, Rabbi or CHAZAN, can bless even though he missed one day. Why is that? Because he himself is not obligated. So therefore he cannot fulfill the obligation of others. And therefore if he does that, there is a big concern that he's making a bracha batala, right? A blessing in vain. So therefore the halacha is that if a person, the Rabbi or the CHAZAN, who forgot to bless one day, he forgot at night, he forgot the day after as well, now he can't bless anymore for the rest of the time. So therefore if he's embarrassed to go up there and have this issue that he cannot bless for the tzibur, everybody's watching him and saying, "Oh, this guy, the rabbi, messed up, huh?" So because if he's embarrassed about that, so what is the solution? Let him bring somebody else to go up there and to daven, to pray for the tzibur. Meanwhile, right until the Chag Shavuot, he'll take a break, go on vacation. He won't be anymore the CHAZAN, or he won't be anymore the rabbi who prays for the tzibur. Somebody else will go up there and pray. He'll be there, but somebody else will pray for the tzibur. Somebody will also be the CHAZAN, the shliach tzibur. So therefore, right, this is the only solution that we have. Otherwise, right, the person that doesn't want to do it this way, so he has an issue of bracha vatala, right? Very, very big, very strong possibility. So therefore, a person does not have this option. Baruch Adonai le'olam, amen, amen, chazak u'baruch.